Dan Abram for Inside Lacrosse here. Homewood Field just saw Maryland win in triple overtime, 8-7. Will Snyder, the hero in this game, with the overtime winning goal. Big story for me in this game was that Connor Kelly and Jared Bernhardt were really quiet for the Terps. Patrick Foley and Robert Kuhn for Johns Hopkins did a really good job of limiting their opportunities. Hopkins had a 7-5 lead in this game in the fourth quarter. Maryland eventually got those two guys going, both having an assist late in the game to tie it. And of course, it went to triple overtime for the first time in the series history, and that's where Will Snyder came up with his big play. With the victory, Maryland takes home the infamous Crab Trophy, as well as the #1 seed in the Big Ten tournament and our regular season Big Ten champions.
Hey guys, Dan Aresti here with Inside Lacrosse. I'm up at Yale. We just watched the Bulldogs take down Harvard by a final score of 16-8. First half story was all about Connor Mackey and that Yale ride showing up in a big way again, turning over Harvard a bunch of times and severely limiting their opportunities. Harvard only managed 8 shots in the first half. As that first half was winding down, we got a great goal from Ben Reeves, who took a nice question mark move to hit a jump shot as the shot clock was expiring, extending that Yale lead and leaving only 15 seconds left on that first half clock. In the second half, Yale finally started solving Robert Shaw a little bit and went on a nice run of goals, all starring that attack line of Jackson Morrill, Matt Gaudette, and Ben Reeves once again. Early in the fourth quarter, Reeves put this game on ice as he ran through checks from X and had a nice goal unassisted of his own. He finished the day with 3 goals. He was spectacular. Morgan Cheek for Harvard had 3 goals on his end, including the third of the day, which came in the waning minutes, but gave Cheek 200 career points at Harvard, only second player ever to do that. Yale finishes the season undefeated in Ivy League play.
Ohio State kept their season alive, topping Rutgers 10-7 to earn a spot in the Big Ten tournament. Jackson Reed tallied a hat trick, and Justin Ignacio was a dominant 18 of 21 at the faceoff X. Michigan got another resume win for the young program, as Decker Curran scored the game-tying and game-winning goals to give the Wolverines a 10-9 OT victory over Penn State. Michigan will host the Big Ten tourney, but they won't be playing, but this win ends the season on a high note. Princeton ends their season with a signature win as well, topping Cornell 14-8. Michael Sowers broke the Tigers' single-season points record in the game, notching 83 for the season, a record he set last year with 82. But freshman defender George Bond had the most impressive day, holding phenom Jeff Teat to 1 shot and 0 points in the contest.
Terry Foy, Inside Lacrosse, here with Dan Abram at Klockner Stadium. ACC semifinals are in the books. Both underdogs come out on top. In the nightcap, the Virginia Cavaliers emerged 12-11 victors over the Syracuse Orange. It was another epic chapter in this rivalry. Dan, how did it unfold from your perspective?
Well, first of all, I thought UVA played possibly their best defensive game of the season. I thought they got great contributions at the face-off X with Justin Schwank, and then Alex Rode made a lot of crucial saves. But overall, I just came impressed away with the way that UVA got in the passing lanes, went out to deflect shots and stuff. It really kind of felt like the small things helped them win. And of course, it showed with a small margin, 1 goal.
And in the opener, Notre Dame put in also their best performance of the season offensively. They came away 14-11 victors over Duke. That one was paced by Ryder Garnsey, 5 goals, 1 assist. Brendan Gleason, 3 goals, 3 assists. And Brian Costabile, 3 goals and an assist. Dan, what do you think of Notre Dame taking on UVA in the ACC Championship on Sunday?
Well, I love the short turnaround, and it should provide for an exciting game. Little time to prepare means just a lot of back-and-forth play. I'm hoping it's a great one, not unlike we saw a little bit earlier in the season, where the way this rivalry has panned out the past couple of years, it always seems to be a 1-goal game. A lot at stake for these two teams, though. It pretty much feels like a de facto playoff game.
And for Duke and Syracuse and their ACC tournaments a little bit earlier than they like. Fortunately, both have another game on the horizon. Duke heads back to Durham, takes on Boston University on May 7th. Syracuse gets ready to host Colgate. Both of them are hoping that Selection Sunday goes swimmingly.
Loyola is in familiar territory in the Patriot League championship game. After a tight first half, the top-seeded Hounds pulled away from Boston University, winning 13-8 at Ridley Athletic Complex on Friday. Loyola scored 6 straight goals to take the lead and cruise to a victory. Energy goals led the Hounds. Defender Ryan McNulty marched down the field off a Jacob Stover pass, firing home the goal that made it 8-7. Loyola cruised from there, with transition opportunities closing out BU. Loyola's Pat Spencer had 5 points on 2 goals and 3 assists, and he broke the Patriot League career points record. He has 253 career points, with at least 1 more scheduled game to go in 2018 and a senior year yet to come. Kevin Lindley had 5 goals, and the bench for Loyola played really well. Loyola will play Lehigh at noon at Ridley Athletic Complex. If Loyola wins, it would take home its 4th conference tournament title since joining the Patriot League in 2014. The Mountain Hawks upended Navy 10-9 in overtime. Lucas Spence's question mark dodge within the first minute of OT gave Lehigh the win. He had 4 goals and an assist, continuing as the go-to dodging threat for the Hawks. The play was possible because of a key ground ball from freshman LSM Teddy Leggett to start the extra period. Coach Kevin Cassis said they had to kick him off the practice field Friday at Loyola's Ridley Athletic Center. He was staying after, working on picking up ground balls on the turf. Connor Gaffney, who Coach Cassis calls a real warrior, won 12 of 23 faceoffs and had a spurt at the end where he won the last 5 draws. Lehigh's zone frustrated the midshipmen as James Spence got comfortable after some early jitters in the net. Lehigh held Navy scoreless for the second quarter and then some, a span of 23 minutes. Jack Ray had a hat-trick and David Little had a pair of goals, but Navy didn't have the ball enough to get anything going, especially with the way Lehigh grounded down the clock. Navy finds itself in an uncomfortable position for postseason play. Coach Rick Soule said the Mids are on the lighter side of their tournament resume and will likely be done for the year. Lehigh takes on Loyola Sunday in the Patriot League Championship. The game is on CBS Sports Network.
Here are your conference tournament breakdowns. In the CAA, UMass will host the tournament as the 1 seed against the 4 seed Hofstra. Towson and Delaware will square off in the other semifinal. The NEC will be hosted by St. Joe's, and they will face Sacred Heart in the first semifinal. Bryant and Robert Morris will do battle in the other semi. Quinnipiac will host the MAC tournament and will see Canisius in the first semi. Detroit and Monmouth will play in the second semifinal. In the SoCon, number 1 Richmond will face number 4 Furman, and number 2 High Point will take on number 3 Jacksonville. The Big East tournament begins with Denver facing Marquette and Georgetown squaring off against Villanova in the other semifinal.
In the Big Ten tournament held in Michigan, number 1 seed Maryland will play Rutgers, number 2 seed Hopkins plays Ohio State. In the Ivy League tournament held for the first time in New York this year, Yale will play Penn, Cornell plays Brown. The America East tournament will take place at 1 seed Albany, who take on UMass Lowell in the first round. Stony Brook plays Vermont in the other semifinal game.
Thanks for checking out the Epic Isle Game Day recap for Week 13. Keep coming back to InsideLacrosse.com for all the news, notes, and scores you love, particularly next weekend when we break down all the craziness of conference tournaments and Selection Sunday. And go to EpicLacrosse.com for some of the most innovative gear in the sport from our friends out in Minnesota.